All right, welcome back, everyone. In today's episode, we're going to be mostly bug fixing. So the problem that we had left from last video is this thing, and it still persists. So let me we'll go through why this is happening, and then we'll go through two different ways to fix it. So the reason this is happening, um, as you might be able to tell, I'm printing out our dictionary in our main menu before we load. So we have essentially we have too many seeds. We have more seeds than dirt. It's trying to load those seeds in dirt that doesn't exist, right? So then it's erroring. There's a quick fix to this, which is to just check if there's enough dirt. And if there is, then load it, right? You can check if the dirt exists, like get child 0 exists, whatever, and then load it if it does. However, this isn't exactly efficient because the reason that is happening is because in our corn, we never take out the plot, right? So whenever we harvest a plant, we never actually took it out of our array, right? Which is kind of a problem. So I keep planting things, but it's still in my array. It never gets deleted until I load it, essentially. And it gets loaded here, and I pop, right? So that's the only time it ever gets deleted, essentially. However, we can't exactly delete things because what will happen is in our seeds, the way we set it up is it's going to save the plant number, the current array, in the array. And if I were to delete this one, for example, the first one, then this one becomes number 0. But then plant number, this seed still thinks that it's plant number 1, right? So then it'll edit the second one, right? The next one over, which we don't want that. So what we'll do instead, so there is a solution to fixing that. If you're a bit more smart than me and you don't want to take shortcuts, what you can do is edit it so in a way so that it goes into the dirt container and it'll check each dirt which number it is and essentially move each number down by 1. So it'll subtract 1 every time, depending on what number that we removed, etc. So we can check for that. You can check which number of in the array you removed, and then take all ones after that and subtract the plant number to 1. So the plant num, we can subtract it by 1. That's a way. Another way we can do it is instead, what we can do is go into our plot, and we'll go to stage, and what we can do, so the concept that I'm going to teach, I guess, is basically we're going to add a new variable that is called harvested. So if it's harvested, then we'll delete it. So we're not going to delete anything in our array until we close the game and load it again. Okay, so we'll add a new variable. Whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. Called harvested. And this will be false, right? Because we didn't harvest it yet. And what we're going to do is, first of all, I have to double check that I do this everywhere. So I have to go to the tomato as well. Go to tomato. And we'll go in here and then add harvest. And then also we have to go to the game script. And okay, there's nothing there. But obviously, because I've added a new thing, I have to save and load just so all the arrays get deleted. Now, what we can do is go back to our corn. We'll go in here. And now that we have the harvested is false, what we can do is when we harvest it is make it true, right? So we have to find out where to put that. We can put that right here. The queue free. We do game.plot. We'll just copy this. Plot, but not stage. We're going to get harvested. Stage equals true. So we'll now set harvested equal to true. So we're going to have to actually do this in our tomato as well. There we go. And now, whenever we load in our world, we have to go to our dirt container. Now, before we do anything, before we load, what we're gonna want to do is we're gonna actually go into, before all this, we're gonna push it down a little bit. In fact, actually, you know what we can do? We can actually do this in the main menu. Let's do that instead. We go into here, we go for loop I in game.plot.size, and then we're going to do if I in, I just got a phone call. Let's see, size for loop match. Okay, let's, what am I trying to do? Yeah, let's do this. Here we go. If, oh, I'm gonna end the game. We're gonna copy that part. We're gonna match the current plot with the harvested with true and false, right? And then if it's true, what we'll do is, oh, we don't want to get the current plot. We want the game plot. If it's true, what we'll do is game.plot plot pop at, forget the command, it's right here, pop at I, that's the one that we want. And in main menu, go back, and then we pop at I. If it's not, then we just pass. If it's false, we just pass, yeah. And this hopefully should work. So let's give it a try. No errors because there's nothing in our array. Now if I add some things, I have to wait for it to grow. Let's take one, let's plant another, and plant 4 more. Now if I close it and I play, I should have harvested true. Okay, so we have harvested true, but it's not, it's still there. So that's not right. False, false. Pop at I. That is interesting. Should I be popping at I -1 is the question. Okay, let's see what happens if I play. Okay. Interesting. I think I have to pop at I -1. Let's give that a try. Okay, it's gone. I think this is also a bug. We'll have to fix this in a minute. But yeah, so the harvested true, the one that we harvested, is gone. And now we no longer have that error. However, as you might be able to tell, is, oh yeah, the image is wrong. So we're going to have to fix that. Let's just double check that there's no error. Oop, what is this? Invalidate index. Let's do at I. Let's just see if that works. Okay. Harvested. Let's print our plot. It should be working. It's strange that it's not. We have a plot. It is empty, so why is it erroring? That's strange. At I, so 0, so there should be nothing. Now let's save it, or load it, play. We will harvest just one of them for now, and then we'll add as many as we can, and then close the game. And base array is errored. Ooh, interesting. Why is it? Oh, it's empty because I haven't loaded it yet. Okay, I need to do that after. Okay, let's try one more time, see what's going on in our array. How many do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have 8. Why is it erroring at index 7? That is very interesting. Harvested plot 7. Okay, what we can do is, to avoid this error, is if game.plot I exists. No. Wow, we're going to open up our Godot array documentation. All right, so what can I use here that lets me check if this thing exists? Let's see, push front, size, nope, that's not what I want. Sort, pop at min max. Boop, boop, boop. Front find last. It's kind of looking like there actually isn't anything that can help me here. Count. What would this do? Times an element is in the array. Why don't I just use that? What's the difference between that and size, actually? Let's see. Count. Wait, okay. Let's actually try that. Let's print the count. And then we'll print the game.plot dot what am I trying to do? Size. Let's print those two and see what happens. See if they're the same. Ooh, I got an error before it even printed. Oh, we got to comment that out. That's why. All right, let's see what we got. We didn't get anything. Okay. Expects one argument. Interesting. Okay, let's see. What's the argument? Oh, this is not what I want. I think I closed it. Here we go. Count. Going to do count, and we're going to check what it wants. There's a number of times an element is in the array. So we have to have a certain element. Okay. Which I can't do because we have numbers. Okay, so count won't work. So we're gonna have to use size. I and plot. I think what's happening is that we're popping it, and then the size goes down. I think that's why. Let's see if I print game.plot dot size. Valid 7, 8, 7. Okay, I think that's what was happening. Yeah. Okay, I understand now. Okay, so here's a little bug. What's happening is the game. Okay, so we're for looping in our size, which is originally 8, correct? And we're popping it on, and the size gets reduced, right? So the size, because the size got reduced, we're now getting an invalid index at 8 because we're still trying to for loop all the way until 8, right? So what we can actually do, let's see if I can try this. Let's do variable size equals this. Loop I in size. Not I. Size minus equals 1. Let's see if that works. Nope, it still won't work. Interesting. Okay, I'll be right back. I'm going to see how I can fix this. Hopefully you understand the problem and why this is happening. I believe it's because we're trying to pop. I'm going to see if there's another. You know what? Last thing we're going to do. Dictionary. Yeah, I'm going to pull up the good documentation. Okay, so my goal here is to find something that can help us queue a pop. No, not dictionary. I need array. Once again, I need array. Array. We need pop. Okay, so we have pop back, pop at. Can I queue a pop instead of popping right away? Pop. If negative, positive. On large arrays, this method can be slower. See. Okay, pop. Okay, pop back, that's not what we want. Push back, that's not what we want either. Let's see if there's a queue. There is not. Okay. I think we might have to create our own little queue. Okay, I will be right back. I'm going to fix this and I will continue. All right, I'm back. So the way I fix this is essentially instead of using a for loop, I'm going to use a while loop. So it's the same concept. So we're going to do while size minus size, or not minus, smaller than size. We'll keep looping essentially through it. The reason this works and the for loop doesn't is because we want to update the size depending on if we pop anything or not. So in the for loop, I'm trying to explain this in a way that makes sense. Basically, we're looping from 0 to 7, for example. If we pop something, the size of our array got smaller. It went down to 6. However, our for loop doesn't know that yet. It doesn't know that at all. So it's going to keep trying to loop until 7. So at here, right here, it's going to match number 7, right? It's going to try to match number 7 in our array. However, we just pop something, so number 7 doesn't exist anymore, right? So which is why we have to use a while loop instead of a for loop. So because every time we loop through it one time, we can subtract 1 to the size if we do pop something. And then, yeah, that's it. The only thing I would say is just make sure you have the I+1 in the end of the match, because if you don't, your game will crash. It'll get stuck in the while loop. I did that, and I'm very sorry. Okay. So now our game works properly. We no longer have any duplicated arrays, essentially. So these are all harvested. I'm going to make a few more. And if I play, oh yeah, I'm not printing anything. Ooh, interesting. What is happening there? Let's print our plot one more time. Plot. There we go. Let's see what we have. Okay, we have quite a few seeds. Why is that? I'm thinking actually maybe we have to save here. Utils.save. We'll save it, and then it's strange that it didn't save, but I don't think this is why. Let's try one more time. Okay, I'm gonna have to save it. Load. Play. All right, let's make a bunch of seeds. Let's harvest one. Let's put one more, and then let's close the game. Now if I play, I should only have 6. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Interesting. Why do we have 7? Why do we have 7? One of them should have been harvested. Oh, no, do we have 7? Okay, wait, let's try playing. Let's see if we are. Ah, okay, because there's 7 pieces of dirt. Okay, so it does work. Another thing we're going to do, though, is we're going to add the solution I talked about earlier. So we'll do if has child. This is very simple. It's just has child I. Then we'll add it. That's it. I think that's it. Right? No. Ah, has child is not a thing. Interesting. Let's see. Go. Has node. I know. Okay, we know has node is a thing. Okay, let's get child. Add child. Oh yeah, you know what? Let's just forget about this. The game should work without it, so that's okay. There was one more thing. Oh yeah. So sometimes when we load and it's on stage 6, it still loads the wrong frame. I'm not sure why. Oh no, I do know why. It's because we don't have anything for that stage. So if we're on stage 6, we're gonna want our stage to be. Ooh, we don't want this here actually. We want to delete this. Let's stage 6. What would stage 6 be? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We want frame 5, so frame should be equal to 5, not. Yeah, okay, we'll do 5, and then for here we'll do, I think it's 11. 11, yeah. So we'll actually manually do it. So we'll make sure that it's going to be, the frame is going to be 11 if the stage is number 6. So now if I run the game, it'll automatically pop up as it's done. And let's try one more time. Let's harvest. Let's add a seed. Let's close the game. Launch. Hopefully it works. Awesome. The game works pretty well. There should not be any errors. There is another way to kind of double check that this never errors, and the way to do that is to check for the node. Apparently get child is not a thing. I just learned that. But this would be a bit more difficult because we're not getting the node, we're getting the child. But what you can do, because okay, let's do this. Let's do if get if has. Okay, so we're gonna actually have to make the name. Name dirt name equals dirt plus string of I, and then print dirt name. So let me show you what this is doing. Now we have a reference to our node. So we have 0 all the way to 6. So now what we can do is if has node. I don't think we have to convert it to a string because it should already be a string, but let's try this anyways. Okay, so we have a bunch of seeds or harvests. Let's load it, and boom, it still works. Yeah, so that's it. This is how we would fix this, just in case that error ever pops up for any reason. I use this trick a lot, actually. So dirt name equals dirt plus string equals I. So that's the why I actually made sure the dirt is from 0 to 1 in the end. I use this trick a lot, especially when it comes to RPGs like where I fight monsters, stuff like that. So this is actually a pretty cool trick where you can verify the dirt or create the dirt name as a string, combining several strings and things. Because I is originally an integer, which is why we had to convert it to a string. And then we has node and check for it. So we can actually do the same thing here. Go here, and we'll pop that in. So another thing I'll say is the reason you can't do dirt name outside the match is because it has to do this every time it loops, by the way. But I think that is it for today's video. I think we fixed most of the bugs. If you guys find any more bugs like that, I'm not sure why it crashed there. Let's try one more time. Okay, so the game hates me. We'll ignore that bug. We totally fixed it. But if you guys find any more specific bugs, please let me know in the comments. I'll try to fix them and update the tutorials. Next video, we will try, I think, continue working on our inventory and try to make it working a bit. And then we'll see what we'll do after that. So I'll see you guys next time.